people, welcome to the channel, and super glad to inform you guys that Star Citizen is actually working perfectly well in the PU. There's no lag, there's no delays, there's no, hell, I even move around and it's kind of okay. This is very encouraging. It's right after the IAE Expo, it's right after everyone got their Polarises nerfed, so there's no reason for you to play anymore. So yeah, these are all good news, but no, wait for it, just don't go away. I have a solution. I'm not even kidding. I have a solution for all of this torpedo and missile crisis. Oh, you're charging $500,000 for a torpedo that at the most I can use in a rare mission in which I make maybe 400k, and still splitting that in my org, so my org mates get an equal share, so we're all making like 50k maybe, and then we have to buy 500k torpedoes to actually do the mission. That doesn't make any sense. Well, wait a second, because no joking, I do have a solution, so bear with me as I go in this train. Yeah, so glad I don't have those nasty loading screens, especially the 2 seconds one. Those are the worst. I much rather wait for a full minute here and yeah, train ride. So what is the solution? First of all, you need to stop whining and crying. Admit that artillery is not cheap. Just look at what's happening in Ukraine. A Patriot missile costs between $1 and $6 million. What do you want? It is actually on sale, right? When you get your torpedo here for $500,000, that is cheap. You can't deny that. If you deny that, you're a hater. So, CIG is being generous with all of these weapons. Just check on Raytheon. Try buying from them. See how easy and convenient it is. Here, you just land and you restock. What else do you want? What more do you want? What are you complaining about? So, that point clarified. Let's use a little bit of common sense. We are still playing a game, alright? So we don't have to use all of those. It is about fun. You are still supposed to have fun, right? So understand that yes, it is maybe controversial, but it is a game. You are supposed to be having fun here. So if it's a little bit more expensive, well, just be generous with your wallet. Don't be so petty and miserable. Go buy a few Alpha UECs in the website. Now, what I think is the perfect solution would be this. And I know it can be controversial, but hear me out. So you have your Polaris, which you only bought if you have an org. Because if you bought it and you did not have an org, then you're an idiot. Then it's you deserve to be ripped off. You don't have an org, you bought a Polaris. It's set right there in the label. When you bought it, it said orgs only, torpedoes will cost $500,000. It's set right there before you clicked. Maybe you didn't see it, you were not paying enough attention. I was, obviously, look, right, here we go. It says right here, when you have, where the fuck is that thing? Right, oh, I don't have it anymore, I was renting it. Where the hell is it? Didn't I have a Polaris? Guys, what happened? Is it the renting thing? Okay, oh, there you go. Alright, so yeah, still here. Great. So, it says right there, you saw, it says for orgs only. You're not even allowed to buy it if you don't have an org. If you did buy it and you don't have an org, then you probably should be in jail at this point. But, hear me out. Now, seriously, let's be reasonable. How do we fix the problem of abusing, committing fraud? If there's one thing worse than committing fraud in the real world, like, I don't know, bait and switch tactics, no. If there's something worse than committing fraud and scams in the real world, is scamming a non-existent insurance company in a video game. That is, you should go in jail. You should go many years in prison for that. It should not even be a question. How is it that, if you're in UK, we're very close to that point. You get arrested for commenting online. Why wouldn't you not be arrested for committing fraud in video games? I think it just shows, you know what? It shows a certain character of the criminal mind. So if you're committing fraud in Star Citizens against the insurance company, and you think that what? Because you paid $1,000 for your video game chip, you have the right to use it? That's such a capitalist mentality. It is not yours. It belongs to the people, man. It belongs. Stop being a far right extremist and accept that yeah, the capital of production should belong to everyone, and this thing certainly is, right? So stop being a hateful little right winger and accept that everyone should share everything. But since we're talking about using torpedoes, we already acknowledge that they're not exactly cheap. What is the potential solution? Well, you will have to buy them because that's the way Space Sim actually works. How could you expect not to pay for what you're using? I mean, we already went over the scam part of insurance fraud, which I just cannot believe it's being allowed. I think you should be arrested immediately for committing even video game fraud. It is the kind of person that has a criminal mind, right? Where am I supposed to click on this thing? Alright, it could be there, here. There's actually a button somewhere which you cannot even actually reach. But yeah, screw you, right? I mean, you need an org mate to just piggyback on you, and with your org mate, you see how they thought about everything? They thought about everything, man. If you had an org mate, he would just be piggybacking on you, and then he would be able to click on that thing. Will this open? No, maybe one day later. Anyway, let's go up there and get on our way. So, you have a Polaris which you bought because you're the brave leader of an org, like I am. Yeah, my own org this is a very extensive operation. You think it's just a video game, but no, man, no. So, the price is reasonable, 500k. Keep in mind, you can earn a lot of money in the game. People that say otherwise are just haters. Or are those Indian dudes that are grinding the damn out of this thing just to sell it on eBay. But either, it's not here or there, it doesn't matter. Look, we already understand that you need an org to play along. Everyone can chip in, like what? A little alpha UEC, or even better, chip in a couple bucks, right? Let's say, yes, it will be about buying the torpedoes on their website. Yes, RobberSpaceIndustries.com. You have the link there below in the description of the video. And by the way, if you want to start playing Star Citizen, if everything I'm saying is making you go like, fuck yeah, this is something I really want to get into. What? I bought a $1,000 spaceship in a video game that I'm not even allowed to reclaim and use again fully with all of its weapons? Well, I will take 5. I know, right? Well, you have the links there below if you want to start playing. I would suggest you start playing with a Polaris right away. Just go full crazy and get yourself the Polaris. Look at this thing. Buy this thing right now. Start playing with a Polaris. If you can't, use the link below. Remember to use my referral, given that I'm making such a great job at promoting this game. Show your appreciation, right? And buy whatever is more expensive. Keep in mind, the more money you spend, the more game we keep seeing. This has been a trend for a long time. More money, more game content. That has been undeniable. It is not the case that the more money they make, the more they focus on selling even more so as to make more money and forget about the game. No. It's directly proportional. More money, more game being made. Look at everything we got now to enjoy, such as the beautiful Polaris, which you can enjoy for $1,000. But once you have your Polaris, once you have all of your org mates aligned, and once you use those torpedoes that generously provided for free the first time you use the ship, then you have to go and buy some more. But I think the solution is linking this to your Robber Space Industry account, which, yeah, you will have to have your credit card link there, and whenever you need to restock, instead of wasting all the time of go, buy, just buy it on the website automatically each time you restock. So you would just come here, click on your Moby Glass conveniently, and yeah, you go here to the patch, or landing pad, and here you click on restock. And when you click on this, you automatically get the amount of alpha UEC that is needed, right? You will pay for those 500k, which will be linked to your Robber Space Industry account. That will charge you a generous $5 per torpedo. That would be the equivalent of the in-game money. I think that's reasonable, right? $5 per torpedo. And keep in mind, you're an org. So let's say, well, dude, I mean, I'm not joking. If you have like 10 org mates, which is the way we call these people now, it's gonna be like 50 cents each. Are you that miserable? Are you that poor that you cannot spend 50 cents on a torpedo? God damn it, man. These things are worth millions of dollars in the real world. What is it to you, 50 cents? I think that just to make things more realistic, we should apply the logic of scarcity. If everyone, like, again, example of Ukraine, everyone is at war and I'm fighting with my with my Polaris and someone else is using Torps, well, there should be a availability and demand relationship in that price. What I mean by is, the more people start using torpedoes at any given moment, the higher the price should be. So if I'm fighting with another org and everyone is buying torpedoes at the same time, it should be going like 50 cents to 150 to 5, maybe even 10 bucks each, because the price of that torpedo now that is on such a high demand is greater. And as you know, yes, now we become a little bit of a capitalist, but if there is more demand for something, the price should reflect that too. I mean, you can't disagree with that, can you? I think that it is perfectly understandable. Am I trapped here in something invisible? I think I am, but that's on me because I didn't use a proper network of... It is a very strange physicalized thing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. But yeah, this is the punish... Oh, I actually escaped. Great. So as I was saying, as there is more demand in the middle of an ongoing war, man, that's what we're talking about. There's an ongoing org conflict. Everyone is shooting torpedoes at one another. Everyone is... Key part. Everyone is buying the torpedoes from to use against one another. Thus, the price of the equivalent of Rubber Space Industries Raytheon says, well, the price is now higher. You want me to produce more artillery? You want me to produce it now for you to use? Well, you will have to pay for that. Now it is $5, $10, $100 per torpedo when you need it the most. Just imagine the implications of actually winning an org war. This may be like you getting over a planet or like an entire space station. So it would be totally worth it for your org. And again, org mates. So even at $100, it's gonna be what? 10 of you, $10 each? Come on, don't be such a cheap bastard. Enough, guys. I think that's the perfect solution. I'll see you on our next video. Take care.